about 1989, I had an idea that I wanted to grow the business. We weren't doing that well, but I thought, well, this is going to go somewhere. I didn't know how fast, I didn't know how to do it, but I wanted to build climbing walls for ourselves. That was the only reason I wanted to get into it, was to create our own product. And so it was in 1989, and I was in Fremont. My wife had a store down there, and it was by the Rocket Building. If you're in Fremont and you see the Rocket, everybody knows the Rocket Building. The guy that was in the Rocket Building at the time was a concrete sculptor. He ornamented houses, and he had ornamented the outside of the building with beautiful, bright colored concrete sculpted stuff that was just real artistic. And I remember the moment that I was walking by and I just ran my hands along that sculpted material. It's like, wow, this is fabulous. I bet we could put this on a climbing wall. Nobody ever heard of building a climbing wall with concrete anywhere in the world. It hadn't been done. It just like the little light bulb thing goes off like that. And it's like, I got to do this. So I walk in there, and this guy's standing there, this sculptor, and I tell him about climbing walls and stuff like that. And he thought I was an idiot. He basically says, I don't know what you're talking about. Get the hell out of my shop. I couldn't let it go, and he eventually got to know me because I was always next door at my wife's shop, and I'd poke my head in and say hello. And I finally convinced this guy to help me. I'll pay you to teach me how to use concrete. And he had this colorful concrete, and he was able to stick it on different things. And so from 1989 through 1990, we experimented like crazy, and we made so many bad panels. I mean, we filled up the dump with bad panels. We just couldn't figure out how to make concrete stick to different mediums. Concrete doesn't like to do that. And finally, about a year later, it was probably 1991, I finally came up with this product. We figured out how to stick concrete to a plywood. They don't like each other, so you have to figure out how to get them to like each other and to stick. And that was a lot. It's not that complicated. It's just, it took us forever to figure it out. When we finally figured it out, we came up with this particular style of texture, and this has been our product since 1991. We haven't changed it. It's been very successful. We use it in all of our gyms, and now we sell it to other customers around the country. It's very durable. It's good for footwork. We really designed it so people can learn to use their feet. And some of the panels in our climbing gyms are like 15 years old. They're very durable. And they're aesthetic. I never was into, from day one, I was never into trying to make my rock climbing gyms look like a real rock. I thought that was a ridiculous idea. Why do you want to do that? You're indoors. It's artificial climbing. Have some fun with it. So if you look at our gyms, they're very colorful. They have all sorts of different colored panels, and I like that. I mean, I have never heard a customer come up to me and says, I don't think I'm going to buy a membership because your climbing walls don't look like a real rock. It doesn't have anything to do with the experience. I like the panel system. The reason that we really adapted the panel system is because we, like I said earlier in an interview, that rock gyms have a lifespan. 10 years max. What are you going to do after that? If you have the seamless concrete wall system, what are you going to do with it? How do you get it out of there? With this, you just take it apart and remodel it if you want. And that's why we went with that. We thought about that back in the late 80s and 89. And we knew where we wanted to go with that. That it had to be easy to work with, easy to handle, and modifiable if we wanted to change the gym. So that's our vertical rolled textured panels that we've been doing all these years. Very successful and affordable.